again, good people. What's up? What's good? It's your boy Caleb Smith. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of our Millennial Masterclass series. If you're tuning after this live, make sure to go and comment. Tell us your favorite part about this conversation. Got my man Levi Lawrence about to come through. Let me send him this request.
Poppin'.
Hey, what's good with you, King? Hey, I appreciate you, man, coming onto the platform.
Oh, you already know, man, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Man, tonight we actually gonna get into a lot. Entrepreneurship, love, success, fathership. Fatherhood, sex, all that stuff. So, hey, we about to get this thing started, man.
Let's go.
All right. Levi, man, starting off, everything that you have going on with Illuvione, with the business, you giving back. How'd you get started in entrepreneurship? How'd that start for you?
Entrepreneurship started when I was like 9 years old, man.
Wow.
6, something. So it started on the illegal route, and then eventually it went legal. But as a young kid, I was always attracted to not necessarily making money, but making businesses. So whether it was mowing the lawn and setting it up with the entire block and having those times and schedules, whether it was selling my lunch at school,
Making it happen.
of course, going into high school, I was creating my own earrings, magnetic earrings and stuff like that. So I didn't have my ears pierced at the time.
Yeah.
So I was wearing magnetic earrings and selling them. And from there, I actually got offered ownership, 40% ownership of a company that was in the mall through working with them from using their earrings and selling them at school.
Wow.
But I've always been a businessman, and it didn't really become official. I didn't purchase my first company until 2013, and that was just because I got lost in life.
Yeah.
You know, you get lost in society, you get lost in what people want you to do or whatever, and it's always going to come back. You're always going to come back to what you're destined for.
Facts, bro. I love that. And on your page too, speaking on that with life, you had a great post, talking about how people sometimes have a dream, but then life happens. And then sometimes you might just get focused on the 9 to 5 providing, which people who's tuned in right now may feel like that sometimes. For people that's in that type of situation, predicament, how do they stay focused on their dreams as well still?
I would say that in order to stay focused on your dreams, you have to think about what motivates you. So a lot of people, they get stuck on what people want them to do, what they think or people see them doing. And it's usually through whatever that other person is comfortable with.
Facts.
You got to go with what's in here. Your spirit, it pulls you to whatever it is. You're great at that thing. There's something you love to do, that you always do, that you do without even thinking about doing. And that's a part of who you are. And if you are interested in being an entrepreneur and being a business owner, that passion that you have, you take that passion, you find a problem, and then you solve that problem within your passion. And then from there, you keep your mind focused on that. From there, it opens up. So now you have different opportunities where people will see you doing something else, but it could or could not align with your passion. And if it doesn't align with your passion, you politely pass. You're like, thank you for offering that to me, but that's not aligning with everything that's going on in my life. It's not a puzzle piece that fits within my big picture. But those things that will come along, there will be those other puzzle pieces, those different details that will come in and shape the magnificence that is your future. So I always tell people, be flexible with the details, but be stubborn on the big picture.
I like that. That's dope, man. And from learning more about your story, learning of the transition from going from the military to being a full-time entrepreneur, what was that process like? Because I know being in the military is probably very demanding. So how did you pivot from that to now doing what you're currently doing now?
So I was working at 13 hour shifts daily.
Wow.
And as soon as I got into the military, I bought my first company. because it was
Mm.
always my thing. You know, I always knew
Yeah.
that I wanted to own a company, but I had to get focused. That's what it was all about. It's about being focused. And even when you think you're focused, sometimes you're not. Uh,
Facts.
but I got focused, and as soon as I got in the military, I got out of basic training. I got to my first base. Um, my daughter was born, and I bought my first company.
Wow.
And from there, I was just working from 13-hour shifts, coming back and trying and working on my first company and trying to figure out what I was actually doing. And that process was crazy because even though funny thing is a lot of people don't know is that Alluvione was actually supposed to be my first company, but
Wow.
I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to
Yeah.
run it. I didn't have all the experience that I needed to do it. Uh, so Shine, which is my current parent company, ended up being my first company, and from there, I did clothes. I style blogged. I
Wow.
connected with a lot of different people. I tried all kind of different things, uh, which led to me purchasing other companies. So I think in total of being within that military career, I I purchased 7 companies. So
Jeez.
7 years total, 7 companies. Uh, that's my fashion line Imperfection, which is still out, doing its thing. I have, my books that, I'm an author, audiobook, ebook. I have my life coaching, um, relationship coaching. I have a partnership with my lawyer and contract negotiator for our management company. Things that it's just all kinds of
Wow.
stuff like that,
That's
you know.
dope, man.
And
Yeah.
it was just being hungry. Like I
Yeah.
knew that even though I was in the military, that wasn't the end game for me.
Facts. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
that there was something bigger than that because the military is cool for those who want to be in the military for 20 years and get that retirement, all the other stuff.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, cool. That
Yeah.
wasn't that wasn't the goal for me. I came into the military to get all the benefits that I could, all the
Mm.
connections that I could, and to set myself up that when I got out, I was full on business, full time, nonstop. I could get a house. I could put
Mm.
my kids in college for free,
Right.
and I could do whatever I wanted to do without having to worry about it. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what I did. So it was really just, staying determined, staying focused, and understanding that plan A through Z doesn't mean switch switch your objective. It just
Right.
means have a different way to get there.
Mm.
So, and a lot of people, they forget about that. They think plan A is one thing and plan B, C is another thing, and these are my options. Wrong. You got one option, and then from A to Z, you got different ways to get there. It's just like
Mm.
getting into a house. You got
Yeah.
your front door, your back
That's
door, you
true.
got the windows, the chimney, fucking
Multiple ways.
whatever, the garage,
Yeah.
whatever you need to do to get in that house.
Yeah. Man, that's real, bro. And then two, I love seeing how many gems that you constantly drop when it comes to business, relationships, finance, pretty much everything. Especially with business. What type of books do you read? What type of information do you consume to have all of this knowledge overall? Because you have a lot of knowledge when it comes to that, to
Man,
business.
I think the majority of my knowledge came from experiences. It came
Mm,
from a lot of mistakes that I
mm,
made, uh, and those I hate to use the word mistake, but at the time I guess they were mistakes. But
right.
they were just different experiences that where I may have made the wrong choice, and I calculated. I wrote it down. I'm like, all right, don't do that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and from there, you meet people. I'm a person that speaks about what I want and where I want to be and who I want to be around, and I have no
Right.
problem voicing that to anybody that I'm having a conversation with.
Yeah.
So you understand who you're dealing with,
Mm,
and from there, now you know how to talk to me. Now you know what kind of conversation this is going to be. Now you know if there's any game that you want to give to me, I'm all ears. But make sure it's in this realm. I don't want to talk about nothing that doesn't have anything to do with growth, or with expansion or with business or with life. I need, it's got to be something up there. I don't need to talk about the
facts.
strip club unless you want to buy one.
Yeah.
If you want to
Yeah.
buy a strip club and you want me to be a part of that, let's talk about that. I
Right.
don't have no problem. I have no problem talking about that. It's gotta be on some ownership growth type stuff. So I think from there, talking to different people, having that experience, and then building those connections because your network is your network is your net worth. Ugh,
That's facts.
sorry. Which is I stole that from my brother Eric. He says it all the time,
Yeah.
and of course he has his networking guys. And I stole that, and I was like, man, I like that. I'm gonna take that for myself. So your network is your net worth. I like that, and I just I've always built those connections
Mm.
with so many different people to increase my power, to increase my ownership, to increase my knowledge, so that I can do what I do now. So I can create a Luvione and give all that game. And
Mm.
that's what a Luvione was about. Once I had all that knowledge and connections, now I can create that organization that gives back to the kids, helps kids create CBD infused juice companies,
That's
and
dope, man.
do grants, and then do these annual events and all that stuff.
I love that, man. And speaking on you giving back through everything, that you're doing, what type of feeling do you get personally when you see people creating businesses, young creatives creating? How do you feel when
Oh
you
man, I
see that?
feel fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel fantastic. When they win, I win. I don't
Yeah.
want my thing, and I tell this to everybody that is in that, because there's usually like a parent that's like, well, what do you want from us? When
Mm.
we're giving after boot camp. I'm like, I don't want anything. Like, I just want to see you win.
Yeah.
If you want to shout out the AGB program and the sponsors and tell people to sponsor so we can give to more kids, that'll be great. But I don't want anything from you guys. I want to see y'all win, because when there's more of y'all, then there's more power.
Exactly.
If we
Exactly.
can teach them young, no matter the flavor, no matter the color of their skin,
Yeah.
if you can teach them young, you're teaching them power. You're teaching them how
Mm.
to properly buy a business. You're teaching them to connect themselves with people that are business tax professionals. We're
Yep.
teaching them how to do things that we didn't know how to do. And so that's of course, how some people, I wish I knew when I was a kid, what I know
Yep.
now. Well, shit, now I'm giving it. You know what I mean? And so I connect with other people that have something that they want to share.
Mm.
Come, I'll put you within the Alluvione Business Bootcamp. Sign the NDA, sign the independent contractor
Yeah.
contract, and then let's go ahead and put a video on there for you. Boom, and let's get it
Mm.
set up so we can give more to these kids, because that's the future.
Yes, bro. And we need way more of that. We need more entrepreneurs, especially black entrepreneurs, giving game because we need that. And that's actually a really good point because I have these conversations all the time about, I feel like, again, just like what you said, if we were taught this in school, we would be arguably 20 years in advance because if you know this at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like you're already ahead of the game. So what other strategies could we implement as black entrepreneurs so our children, our kids, nephews, nieces are already starting super
Um,
fast?
First things first, we gotta be open minded. A lot of people don't realize that um, kids are showing their passion at 6, 7 years old.
That's
Like
real.
that's when they're showing what they want to do. That's
That's
when they
real.
say like, "This is what I want to do." They're talking about it. My daughter came to us and she was like, "I want my own nail salon."
Already.
Oh, done. So now
Wow.
we're already working on it. We're already she came to me with an entire page, drawings and everything.
I
She was like,
love
"This
it.
is what I want. This is how I want it. This is how I want to handle my money. This is where I want it to be." I'm like, "Okay." So
Mm,
now we're working on that,
mm.
and we got to take that stuff seriously. A lot
Facts.
of us don't. We think it's cute. It ain't
Yep.
cute. That's when shit really pops. And then a lot of parents, uh, because they don't know,
Mm-hmm.
then they don't know what to do. So they're like,
Mm.
well, they react not negatively, but they react nonchalantly in a sense.
Facts.
When if you don't know, then find somebody that does. Especially now because social media is everything. It ain't nothing to DM somebody. It ain't nothing to DM Levi and say, hey, can I get my kid into Luby on their business boot camp so I can teach them how to start a business? And can you give them some tips, some personal information or whatever? Hell yeah,
Yeah.
in a heartbeat.
Mm.
It's things like that that'll jumpstart kids and have more kids starting businesses and things of that nature. My daughter is writing a book, 5 chapters halfway. There we go.
That's dope.
And Mazagia, I know we spoke a couple times. Um, with that, there's so many things a lot of people don't know, whether it's going through ebooks or audiobooks, and there's
Yeah.
different links that you can do for free. Yeah, you might give up a little bit of your royalties, but you don't have to. You can get them on all platforms and push
That's
them that way
facts.
because that's what's hot right now. Is
Yep.
ebooks, audiobooks, and going out in that way.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that, sharing with each other, having these lives like this,
Mm-hmm.
telling people, hey, look, listen to your kids when they're young because that's
Yeah.
when it matters.
Yeah.
That's when it matters.
You preaching, man. So speaking on listening to our children, do you feel like college is still effective? Because I saw your post and I loved it. I went to school for media, and it's like, yeah, technically you need a degree, but somewhat you kind of don't because it's not like you're learning anything that's special. So do you think it depends on someone's major, or should we just listen to our children in the same $50,000 plus that we'll spend on their education? We could invest that into their businesses.
I think it definitely depends on what they want to do because not
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants to own a business. Some people
That's true.
want to, you know,
Yeah.
and there's certain things like if you want to be a doctor, of course you have to go get your degree, multiple
Yeah.
degrees. If you want to be a lawyer, you know, things of that nature. There's things
Yeah.
that you need a degree for, and if
Yeah.
that's the case, you can kickstart that off early as a child. You
Yeah.
know, people don't know that hell you can have your kid doing college stuff and getting those credits while they're in elementary school, and
Dual
they just think
enrollment.
that that's too much, but they're not.
Nah.
It's not too much
Yeah.
because those little baby steps really do help, and it keeps them on track to being who they want to be. Now, if it changes later, it changes later. But no matter how many times it changes, you need to keep on going and keep supporting your kid. I think that I definitely think that if they already know what they want to do, don't why waste their time? You
Mm.
know, why waste their time, your time, on trying to convince them otherwise when they already.
Mm.
One of my Alluvione members, her name is Siani Dean. She owns Cranky Granny Sweet Rolls. She started Cranky Granny Sweet Rolls when she was 17 years old. She was still in high school. She
Wow.
said she told her mom, "I already know what I want to do. I'm not going to college." And her mom
Yeah.
was like, "What? You ain't going to college?" And so she was like, "Mom, I already know what I want to do." She's 21 now. She got a food truck. I convinced her to move from New Jersey to Texas,
You did
you
it.
know, all under Alluvione. You know, we met,
Wow.
and like it stuff like that happens when you follow your passion.
Mm.
So, you know, I know some of us are like, you know, we have those older feelings where, well, my baby's gonna get a degree. If your child wants to get a degree, they'll go get one.
Mm.
They'll go get one. That's
Yeah.
that's the way I said. You got to understand that. Now, if they don't know what they want to do with their life, then I'd say go to college. While you're in college, figure out what you want to do.
True.
Don't worry about taking English, history,
Yeah.
and all that other bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, take stuff that you're interested in. If you like art and you like to draw, take some art classes, take some sketching
Mm.
classes. If you
Right.
like to sing, take some vocal classes, take some music classes.
Yeah.
You know, like if you like rocks, take geology and see which one you like
Yeah.
to fuck with. And
Yeah.
just because you're already spending the money, you know,
Mm.
you're spending the money. So at least if you're gonna go there, go towards something you want. And if you're in college and you find out what you want to do while you're in college, then spend that time while you're in college capitalizing on what it is you want to do. Use the people around you to support you, your
Yep.
everybody that's in college, even the professors. And then you take all that and you make sure that you're investing your time and all that goddamn money that you spend at that college into whatever it is that you
True.
want to do.
That's real, bro. And just being in college, like for myself, I learned so much about networking because I would probably say that's the most valuable lesson from college is networking. Because so many
Yep.
job opportunities that I've had, people who I met, networking, that was essential, essential. So for young and up and coming entrepreneurs who may be introverts sometimes, how
Mm-hmm.
can they build up their confidence level because they have to network still? How should
Um,
they
so,
do?
so I'm an ambivert, which is in the middle. I'm an
Yeah,
introvert.
and I feel you. I'm the same
Yeah,
way.
yeah. So
Yeah.
with me, I link up with people that are extroverts. So I
Mm.
link up with people that are down to talk and stuff like that and moving around. Cause what I'll do is I come in, I kick back, and I scan the room. I
Read the
see
room. Yeah.
I see who the big players are and
Hmm.
who are the people that think they're the big players but they're really not, and
Yeah.
see the people that are really just moving around talking. And from
Facts.
there, I'll start working the room. I'll work and go talk to a few people that think they're the big players, and from there, you know, the group starts forming, and then I'll talk to the really big players, the people that are running it or that are owning the things and stuff like that, and really start to grow from there. In college, don't be afraid to let people know who you are and what you want to do. And if you're the nervous one, that's why you have extrovert friends.
Mm.
And you know, those people that are family, because I hate the word friends for the most part. Make sure that they really support you. They'll go out and yell it for you.
Mm.
Hey, yo, you know, come over here, come holler at you. You be like, oh man. But now you gotta show up.
Mm.
Now you gotta show up and show what you got. So whatever it is, you go from there. And that after a while of doing that and talking to people, it just becomes easier and easier and easier to talk to somebody that you don't know.
Real.
And now it's like, hey, this is what I do. I do this every day. You know, I do this in my sleep.
Facts.
So I would say that would be the best way.
I love that, bro. I love that. And again, going back to your current projects, giving back, I know that it's not possible without having a great team support system. So for young and up and coming entrepreneurs or people that's our age young, how can they build that team? Because I know so many times I see people that they've started businesses and, you know, it might have failed because of certain people not doing what they were supposed to be doing. So how can you build that perfect team?
So my team, it took time to build my team. Let's be clear. But I constantly said what I wanted. I spoke it into existence. I was like, I want a strong circle of go-getters, grinders, 6-figure, 7-figure winners that are killing it and inspiring others. And I want them to fall up under an organization that's really going to change the world. That's what I spoke of. The first person that joined my team that changed my life was my wife. And her, you know, not truly understanding what it was to be with an entrepreneur, but being 100% supportive, it was everything. She really put everything, you know, on the line and did everything. Wow. She was the first. She bought my first website.
Wow.
She bought when we were living. I was staying. It was at my job. I wasn't even in the military at the time. I was working for a company that worked with adults with disabilities, and I was working in a 1-bedroom. And I was laying in a bed that was on the floor, so it was pretty much a mattress surrounded by the little bed thing. And I walked in, and she was sitting on the floor creating my first website. From there, she's been helping me day after day after day. She's taken pictures. She's done everything that I needed her to do. She's had my kids. She's put up with my craziness. She did it all. And from there, I kept growing and kept talking to different people and, you know, creating those relationships and again telling people who I am and what I want to do. And of course I met Eric, which, you know, I met him through one of my companies, and we built that relationship because I saw what he wanted and I saw that matched, and I saw how I could help him and he saw how he could help me, and we grew from there. So we built businesses together. We've done all kinds of stuff together. And then, you know, you want a photographer, speak about it, you know, look at it. I'm going to try to turn this light on over here. 1 second.
Oh, yeah, you good?
Oh, I think it's right here. We just moved into another house. I was out here. Boom, there it goes. All right. So we just, I lost my train of thought.
Oh no, you good. I think you were talking about Eric when you guys when y'all first met. He could help you. You could help him.
Yeah. So from there, you know, I was saying, like, man, I want a photographer. So that happened. You know, doing Instagram searches. I click the tag section in the little search section. I'll type in photographer. ATX or whatever like that, and see what photographers are hashtagging and stuff like that. I found my event planner that does all the Illuvione events. We did event planner Los Angeles, and we found it, and it was like, yes. And so boom, same thing with that. Right now I'm looking for a video editor, so I'm putting in that, reaching out to people. I'm looking for a social media manager that can also manage what I'm doing. I was like a management / assistant, looking for that. So all that stuff, you know, I put it out there with my voice, my energy, but I also put in the work for it too. and do some searching and do some looking and reach out and talk to people.
Yeah, I feel that. And bro, you actually said something too that was very powerful about your wife coming in, helping you out, being that partner,
Mm-hmm.
shifting towards relationships now. For young entrepreneurs, I know that that can be very hard, very challenging. Finding somebody who's understanding, you have a very demanding schedule. It's pretty much 24/7. So
Right.
how should entrepreneurs go about finding a good partner?
Honestly, it's something that kind of happened on the fly.
Mm.
To be honest with you, when I met my wife, I was at the end of my whole phase. I was at the end of being reckless.
He's about to retire.
Right. I was about to go into the military. I was, everything was starting to change for me. And, we started off as just being fuck buddies,
Wow.
Yeah, like it, and
Wow.
and I mean,
Yeah.
if people don't have my book, click the link in my bio, you get my audio book, Breaking a Walk with Man, and I speak about that in there.
Yeah.
We started off with being fuck buddies, like it was just me and her, and we were just enjoying each other's time, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, we started, really getting to know each other, and then I valued her. I valued her opinion. I valued who she was, and she helped me become better. I helped her become better. And from there, it just happened. And then within 6 months of being together, boom, engaged.
Wow.
And then next month, boom, married. So, and then, we've been together for 8 years. So, love has no time limit.
Mm.
And, people think that, we got to be together for so long, pish posh. You know what I mean? Now, if you're already an established entrepreneur, and you got your own company, you got your own business, you're making your own things, you know what I'm saying? Before you get there, before y'all even build a relationship, there should be a understanding on coming in and understanding. If we're gonna make this a thing, let's say, even if it's just a conversation, like, within marriage right now where I am, a prenup is a definite, because whatever I come in with and whatever she comes in with, we're probably already going to be established and successful. I don't want that to blend. I don't want that to be an issue. So we're just going to go ahead and knock that out. And that's nothing. That's nothing. And go from there. And a lot of people won't agree on that because they feel like, we're in this together, yada, yada, yada. But if you didn't come from the mud like I did, we came from the mud. We came from the mud. Like I had nothing.
Yeah.
So she could have half, 75%, whatever the hell she wants. I don't. She helped me build this. So there's no quarrel there. But with somebody like Eric, right, who's got a 7-figure business, 6-figure business with LFLS, and then now with the dose adapter and everything. Whoever he meets, prenup. If they're gonna go the legal route, and I say that because I always push spiritual marriage. So I'm not a big person that feels like you gotta go in front of a judge and be legally binded and all that other stuff. I'm not. I feel like that has nothing to do with love.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that has nothing to do with love at all. I feel like if you really are married to somebody, it's spiritual. You can have the ceremony. You can put on the rings.
Yeah.
You can call each other husband and wife.
Yeah.
And you're married. And guess what? If you're worried about whatever legal aspects, depending on whichever state, after a few years, you are common law married. After a few years of living together in the same house, paying the bills, you guys are common law married. In Texas, I think it's like 7 to 10 years. Like once you're there, and like, you know what I mean? Like if you're in a relationship that's supposed to last that long, and you guys are going to spend the rest of your life together, who gives a damn what the hell a judge is saying? That legal shit will come later on. So boom. And a lot of people get divorced because they're not really in love. They're not really spiritually connected. They think they love each other, but a lot of people don't understand their love. So they don't love themselves first, and they don't know how to love love and learn the other person. So it gets lost in translation.
That's deep.
So, my wife and I, we're legally married, but I went into the military. So before I went in, we got married because she was pregnant we were already engaged. She got pregnant, and I was like, we need to get married before I get in because I got to make sure you and the baby are taken care of by the military. I need everything covered. I don't want
That's real.
nothing to happen to y'all, and I can't do anything.
That's
So
real.
we got legally married, but it's always been understood between us that we are spiritually married first.
Mm.
So I think we agreed to do like a 10-year spiritual marriage thing. We're gonna go and do like a big thing, uh, and how have this whole spiritual marriage thing. But I definitely encourage spiritual marriage. If you are going to get legally married and you are a successful entrepreneur and you had that before that person came into your life, you should definitely do a prenup. And if you are going to get spiritually married and you are a successful entrepreneur and you're not going to a judge, there are still contracts, like prenups, because you could still do a prenup.
Yeah.
You could still do a prenup, uh, and have that signed and be like, okay, boom, that's nothing. We got that signed. And, you came in, I came in, we're good. That's nothing. Now let's go. Now let's do the ceremony thing, and let's love us. Everybody hates that little part. They hate that little because it's uncomfortable because
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with love.
Yeah.
That prenup has nothing to do with love. That's business. You
Mm.
know, that's business. That's business on the business side of things. Once you get that business out the way, especially if you're both in business, business situations, you get that business out the way, then let's go back to being spiritually in love with each other.
I
All
like
right,
that.
boom, boom, sign, sign. We read it. All right, we good. You good. All right, do, done.
I
Tuck
like
it
that.
in, manila folder, toss it back, and
It's
let's
over with.
just be us. You ain't
Yeah.
got to think about it no more.
Yeah.
Let's build on what we got, because I
Yeah.
know I want to be with you for the rest of my life,
Mm.
and we'll just be, and you my husband, I'm your wife, you know what I'm saying? I'm your wife, you whatever, and then, let's push.
I love that. And Mazajia, she was saying, I'm trying to find the comment. I think she said that she empathized with Dr. Dre. Yes, that's what she said. Got it. So, how do you feel about that situation where you become a billionaire, you have a great business idea, legend? Do you feel like it's somewhat unfair for a man or for a woman? Because I know with Mary J. Blige, I think opposite situation. It's the husband who's trying to come for the back. So do you feel like
Right.
that's unfair because it's like that person put in so
I
much
don't
work?
I don't think it's unfair. Well, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Let's put it like this. I don't know the life, the how long they were together. If he met her before the fame, and
Mm-hmm.
they've been together before the fame, Dr. Dre and his wife, and now they getting a divorce,
Mm-hmm.
he got to give it up. She
Dang.
was with him with the mud. You know what I'm saying?
She put the
Through the
work in.
mud,
Yeah.
through the mud before he got it. She
Yeah.
was there. Now,
Yeah.
if he had it first and then she came along, if he didn't do a prenup, that's on him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like, a lot of people get, they get that. Oh, well, I don't want to upset her, or I don't want to upset him, and
Right.
so
Right.
now you upset because you got. And same thing with Mary J. I don't know the whole thing with Mary J. And how long they were married, but if she was with him before the fame, before the money, like he was in there. He took the like. There's a responsibility, and it's work being a wife or a husband to a successful individual. It's not all
That's true.
cake. It's not all cakes and
That's
cookies.
true.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's not
Yeah.
all cakes and cookies. You got to deal with a lot. You got to deal with a
Definitely.
lot.
Yeah.
So when people are, oh man, it ain't right, man. You don't know what that person had to go through. There's a reason why they're getting divorced. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
facts. That's
So it
facts.
ain't just for the bread. He was getting the bread, and she was getting the bread before the shits. They
Yeah.
was getting everything they wanted. So clearly that wasn't enough.
Mm.
Something happened to where it had to be all over. So,
Mm.
I mean, if it was before the fame, they definitely deserve half, especially for being there all those years. And if it didn't work out, unfortunately, that's just how it goes. Now, if she came or he came after the fame, and they didn't get they didn't get that prenup, that's on them. You got to get that business out the way. And
Mm.
that's like in boyfriend girlfriend conversation. My strong relationship, if it's going to go the distance, prenup first. I
Mm.
want to get the business out the way. I want to get that contract signed out the
Yeah.
way because I don't want to have to think about that later. I want us just to be us after that's over. But you got to understand that's not personal, it's business. I put everything that I have into this child. All right. I'm not going to share this child this part with you because I built this.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just how that goes. And you just gotta if you understand a business person or businessman or businesswoman, you gotta respect it.
Right.
You gotta respect that.
Right. And bro, man, I think that goes back to communication because, like you said, that's back to boyfriend girlfriend talks. Do you feel like our generation communicates effectively? Because I think sometimes in marriages, yeah, because it's like people get married and you're acting surprised about what you're starting to see. So it's like y'all probably didn't talk about that already.
Facts. Yeah. We don't communicate, especially now with social media. Like social media has deaded so much communication to
Mm-hmm.
where more people will express themselves to the world instead of to the other person. You
That's
know?
deep. Yeah.
Somebody, they let it all out, but will not sit down and talk face to face with the person that's on the other
Mm-hmm.
side.
Right.
And it sucks, man. But it's something that you got to work on. And if you can't work on it within your own house, then it's time to go to therapy, marriage therapy, couples therapy, whatever it is, and get that out the way. I definitely tell people they should do that. Hell, I went through it. After I came back from my deployment, my wife and I we went to marriage therapy.
Wow.
You know, hell yeah, because I was already an issue before, and
Mm-hmm.
it was looking real bad for us. And in order to fix that, because we wanted to work, we had to sit down with somebody and they read us. They read us, and and it was telling us what we had to do, and we
Yeah.
literally had to look each other in our eyes
Mm-hmm.
for like hours and talk. It was hard.
About to
It was
say that
hard.
sounds very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was. It was very
Yeah.
uncomfortable, and really dig deep
Mm.
and explain how we felt and explain our triggers, and then have to learn from there. But once we started that, we kept up with it. You know how they say that after 21 days it becomes a habit?
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
kept doing it, we kept doing it, and now it's a thing to where even when we're upset, it's like, all right,
You gotta look each other in the eyes. Yeah.
yeah, like what's up?
Yeah.
Like what's going on, and we start letting that out. So letting that out opens everything up to where we can fix problems within the same day, and that way we can smile later on that day. We can laugh later on that
Mm.
day. You don't want to hold on to shit. My wife always says she don't want to go to bed mad. She
I feel
hates that.
that.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I feel that too. I get
Yeah.
that because your energy, your spirit is so fragile.
Yeah.
And when you sleep, you're supposed to recharge. You can't recharge if you already weighed down with the bullshit.
Waking up mad. You don't even know why you
You can't.
mad when you waking
Right,
up. Yeah.
right. You just pissed off now. You don't want to do that. So you gotta like that communication has to be something serious. And again, if you can't do it yourself and the other person can't do it, let's say one's willing but the other one's not, it's
Mm-hmm.
time for therapy. And if some and unfortunately a lot of men are against that. They're like, I don't need therapy.
Yep.
But you better figure it out because I was like that. I was like that for a minute. I was like, I don't need therapy, yada yada yada. I almost lost my wife.
Mm.
I-
Yeah.
she was almost gone. I was like, shit,
Wow.
let me figure this out. So while I was
Yeah.
deployed, I went to anger management. I
Mm.
went to anger management while I was deployed, and I came back and we did marriage counseling on top of that.
Wow.
So I had a lot that I had to figure out. We got inner demons and stuff beforehand that a lot of us are broken. The majority of human beings on this planet are broken,
That's facts.
and they don't know how to mend those things, and they don't have scars yet. They still open wounds,
Mm.
and there's always going to be a scar, but it doesn't have to be painful. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah.
It could just be there,
Right.
and you let them see your scars, and then that's it, because they're gonna love you no matter what. They married to your ass.
Yeah.
Lift your shirt up, show your scars,
Yeah.
and after when they accept you and you accept them, then y'all can go ahead and move on from there.
I love that. And see, that's actually the perfect segue because I want to touch on black men with trauma sometimes because I feel like we have a lot of trauma. Even if we have like a quote unquote great life, there's still things about, seeing somebody who looks like you dying on television every day. There's still, something about thinking, hey, if I dress a certain way and if I get pulled over, am I seen as a threat? And then I feel like we bring that back to our homes, to our partners, and then that
Definitely.
can create more arguments. So as black men, how do we talk or communicate more effectively towards each other, talk and let these thoughts and show these scars more?
So as men, period, and I mean like all men,
Yeah.
we're aggressive by nature. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we're conquerors by nature.
Yeah.
So we already like this, and as black men, we really like
You
this.
gotta
You
be
know what I'm
hard.
saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you know, we grow up different. So for instance, I before the military and college, I was gangbanging.
Mm.
So you know, and then I was gang at 12 years old. It happened, and I got lucky, and I got kicked out of my mama's house. Oh, scratch that! I didn't get kicked out of my mama's house. I ran away. I ran away from my
Wow.
mama's house. I ended up living in a safe place, and then I went from Memphis to Texas and started living with my dad. Well, rules are once you leave the state, you good. So I wore whatever I wanted to wear. I did whatever I wanted to do and tried to act like that didn't happen. Mind you, being initiated into a set is pretty much just like going through basic training. Your mind gets reconditioned. So you
Mm.
see things, you spot things, you talk differently, you walk differently. So unfortunately, in high school, it came back. I dealt with a
Wow.
couple of things. Next thing you know, I was gangbanging again. And that lasted even while I was in college. I played a good game. I'm a smart dude. I was never what you call a rough dude.
Mm-hmm.
I was my nickname was Poindexter when I was 12, and all the dudes called me PD because I was a short, fat, little nerdy dude. But I was down to throw down in a heartbeat, and I had the whole set behind me. And from there, you got to make those choices.
Yeah.
So always being looking behind you, dealing with certain things, fighting, and then trying to tell yourself you're better. You know, you're better
Mm-hmm.
than this. You're better than this. Like you got to give this up. You got to give this up before it's too late. Before you end up in jail. Before you die. You know, before you get arrested. Because I've never been arrested. I've never had handcuffs put on me
That's
at
a
all.
blessing, man.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because I did some things.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And so from there, going into the military and switching it up and really becoming a more disciplined person, and then from there going on and tackling my dreams. I think through all that, and dealing with different types of people and judging and people looking at you and people talking at you, then you of course you got a shield on you. Of course
Yeah.
you got armor on you. Of course you like ain't nobody talking to me the way that you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
We have to understand that we can't talk at each other. We have to understand that in order for you to talk to me, we got to have something in common. So for me, I tell some of my old boys because I have family and friends that was on the other side of the tracks,
Mm-hmm.
that I grew up with, and that I'm still close to. Well, one of the dudes that was on the other side of the tracks is the godfather to my kids.
Wow.
Uh, but real we can stay together. So uh, I I'm thankful, even though I wish I wouldn't have went down that way. I'm thankful that I did go down that way. But because of that, I can talk to those kids. I can
Right.
talk. I know the handshakes. I know the
You know what they're
slang.
going through.
Right, and
Yeah.
I still keep up with a lot of them,
Yeah.
because I know the homies, I know the OGs, I know, and I'm connected, so I can go in there and what's going on, and then we can sit down and see what we can do. I've
Yeah.
put people that was deep in the set on both sides in the military and changed their life forever. I've put, I've given now I'm giving them the Alluvione business boot camp. I've had 3 people already start companies and be like, look, I'm leaving this alone. I'm going this way. That's what I'm talking about. So sometimes we have to relate before we can talk. If we
Mm.
can't relate, then how the hell I'm supposed to understand you?
That's real.
Especially if we don't match on the skin tone level. You know
Mm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
If you from another race and you talking to me, most people already feel like you're talking at you.
Yeah.
That's whether you black, white, Hispanic,
Yeah.
Middle Eastern, Asian. It's like you don't
Yeah.
understand who I am because you haven't came from where I come from. But
Mm.
once you can relate, then now they can understand your language. It's literally like speaking Spanish and English, or Mandarin and English. If we're not speaking the same language yet, then how do I can't understand you?
Right.
So I can't. I would never come as somebody that's deep, that's still in the streets, and talking to him like I'm a military man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would never do that. I would never come to somebody that was in the professional world and talk to them like they were an entrepreneur, because they won't understand. You know, a career-driven individual that doesn't really believe in entrepreneurial, the entrepreneurial lifestyle, I can't speak to you, like that, because you won't understand me. So I
Mm.
have to speak to you like, like a career-driven individual, would do. And I can do that because I used to be a marketing manager for a moving company before I went into the military. So I thankfully, I've had multiple different situations, multiple experiences
Yeah.
that can allow me to do it. I was built for this.
Mm.
Like the powers that be bestowed this life, the
Yeah.
stuff on me, so that I can do what I do now within the Louisiana, which is talk to these kids, talk to seasoned individuals, people of all ages. It don't matter. I can connect. I can literally sit down and connect with anybody. I've sat down with with Volksfront, like Aryan Brotherhood
Wow.
individuals. I've sat down with them and we've had real conversations,
Wow.
real conversations.
Wow.
And then from that conversation, there was a man. Can I write a check, for Louisiana? You feel me? Can I
Yeah.
can I write a check? Cause I really want I really want to help the future. I know that the life that I chose is not the right way. I know I'm too deep in it. I know my views are skewed. My
Mm-hmm.
mind's conditioned, but I can still help. I got a little bread. I can help. If that's what you want to do, man. You know, I can sit down with anybody. It doesn't matter. It's just let's talk. I won't talk at you.
Mm.
Let me learn your language first. I'll translate that bad boy, and then we can start to talk and go from there.
That's beautiful, man. Levi, even with what you're doing with your businesses, giving back, your programs, do you feel like we as a community that we give back enough when it comes to entrepreneurship? Because I know that sometimes there's complaints about some people saying, "Hey, I reached out to this big name person, I didn't hear anything back." But then at the same time, it's people like yourself, Dr. Dapper, thousands of other young entrepreneurs that's giving back. So do you feel like that we're doing that enough, or that we could improve on that?
We can always improve. We can always improve on giving. I personally don't reach out to big names.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that they can't do anything,
Yeah.
but most big names don't make moves until it either benefits them
Mm.
or they see that it's well populated so that it benefits them.
Facts.
you know
Facts.
so I reach out to the teachers, the doctors, the parents and stuff like that. I reach out
Yeah.
to those people. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn.
Mm.
Come join the AGB program. Come help me, give more to the kids. Come help me give more tangible and intangible.
Mm.
And I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Nowhere near how many people I want to be. I wish more people would be down with giving $5.20 to sponsor. But it's surprisingly a lot of people are hesitant because like, well, I'm gonna do it, but I'll get back to it. They always push it
Mm.
to the side.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. Like you have to understand when you're pushing that to the side, you're pushing the future to the side. And you
Literally.
don't know if you're gonna be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so give like support the youth now.
Mm.
Support the youth. Now, I urge everybody of all communities to legit come together. I reach out to every flavor of person and
Mm.
tell them, come join the Alluvione Gives Back program. Help me give this course. Help me give away iPads, laptop, mini offices. Help me put some of these people into real estate school.
Mm.
Help me put them through welding school.
Mm.
I'm encouraging more black teenagers and more black teenage men and women to become police officers because a lot
It's
of
needed.
people see uh, being a police officer as being a villain. But guess what? And you can turn anything viewed into from a villain to being a hero.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
things like that change the world. Things like that change the views on how society is lived. And that's what Alluviana is all about, is changing the standards, increasing the standards of how society views life, and understanding that you can always have more and do more for your people and for yourself.
And I love that. And something that you said in that was awesome because you were talking about not reaching out to the big names. And I know that a lot of people get frustrated when it comes to entrepreneurship about sending those DMs, those emails. So how should they cultivate their following better by just focusing on people that's already around?
Um, I mean, me personally, I do it within, of course, social media. I do the videos. Now, I don't have a huge following base, and
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I probably never will. And it's maybe because I'm successful already,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the sucky part. It's like successful people don't always have the successful social media,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never been a social media person. Now, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, Eric is extremely successful as well, and he
Mm-hmm.
has his social media is growing, and
Mm-hmm.
he's really good at that. He's
Yeah.
great at that. And it's because of him that I have the small amount of followers that I have now. But I'd say beyond Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, doing those videos, and emailing and stuff like that, find different ways to attract other people. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
um, you have that one family member that believes in you. Who are they working for? Where are they working? Do their friends know? Do their employees know? Hey, look, cousin, I appreciate everything you do for me. Um, what would be the best way for me to help you spread the word to your people? And from
Right.
there, it's like a web,
Yeah.
because once they're like, okay, well, I don't want to be a bug, so maybe if you like did something, like maybe you gave a card or something and had like some kind of like uh juice. What's one of them juice companies? Them like King Juice, Juicy
Oh
Fruit,
yeah, Smoothie King.
Smoothie King. There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah,
Do like Smoothie King cards. Do
yeah,
like $5 Smoothie King cards.
yeah.
I have some ladies here. It's about 7 of them. Can you spare like $35? Hell
Mm.
yeah, I can spare $35. Especially if it's gonna give me 7 more sponsors. 1 second. Done. Okay. Well, here, just go ahead and send me the card, blah, 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 and I'll give it to them and tell them about what you're doing, and I know they'll love to do it. And that would be my way to rope them in. Boom. It's things like that, those small things like that will get them up, because now they see you. Now they're viewing you. Now they're a part of you. So guess what they're
Right.
going to do? Once they see your videos and they see what you're doing, they're going to share with their friends. They're going to share with their families, because they're already invested in you. You invested into them in some way, and so now they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna help you out.
Yeah,
So it's ways like that that'll keep you away from flooding social media with the same shit over and over, and
yeah,
getting people to be like, no, I don't want to be with you. No, I don't want none of the part of this. No, I
yeah,
don't want to join the AGB program. Leave me alone.
yeah,
They
yeah.
go, okay, my bad. So,
I hear that, man. Levi, where do you see yourself, your businesses, everything that you're doing, being a father, entrepreneurship, within the next 5 to 10 years? Where do you see
uh,
it?
oh, so 5 to 10 years. Honestly, I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you this: Alluvione is going to be the most powerful organization
Mm,
known not only to this country but to this world.
love
That's
that.
guaranteed. I'm already on that path. I will have affected millions, millions. I will have helped so many teenagers and before teens create companies, 6-figure businesses. I've created millionaires. I will have bought. I will have bought buildings for other people, not only just for Alluvione. I will have created schools. I will. That's is
I love it.
5, 10 years. Alluvione Alluvione will be so strong and so powerful that if I die early, it still will not be able to be stopped.
Mm, that's beautiful, man. Before we go, where can everybody follow Alluvione, you, your movement, everything?
Man, follow me on Instagram at Levi Lawrence the Third, and that's with I's, not L's. LeviLawrenceii. You can Google me. You can Google, if you type in Levi Lawrence the Third, you can Google me. All my stuff pops up. Magazine articles, all that stuff. It pops up. It's in the front.
Flex on
You know what I'm saying? You can't miss me. But once you follow me, click the link in my bio, join the AGB program, help me give back to these kids. I want my personal goal, since we just started this a few months ago, for this year is to affect the minimum of 20,000 kids.
Wow.
In order to do that, in order to affect 20,000, I would like to have 1,000 sponsors for this year. I want to have at least 1,000 sponsors. I put in a lot of my own money into this. Of course, I put in my own time within stuff, and everything that I do, I pay my bills through having consultations and stuff like that. I do a lot of that for free for the kids. And I put in a lot of my own money, my money that I bring in, I put it back into buying stuff, giving back, investing into other people. So having those sponsors helps me, not spend all my money. No, but having those sponsors gives me the power to do bigger things.
Right. Right.
And attract bigger things and have bigger connections. So that's why I always say thank you to the AGB program, because without them, none of this is possible. None of this. I can't do it by myself. So those sponsors that come in and they click that link and they choose Change Young Lives, and they click that $5.20, or they do more, that's up to them. But that $5.20 is just fine, because that $5 adds up. When y'all come together, it adds up. So I can work with these people and work with these companies, so we can give away cars, so we can eventually buy houses for parents, or to pay for somebody's college, or to give these grants away, things of that nature, to pay for trade schools and all this stuff. It adds up. Up. I need y'all. Alluvione is together. As adults, we grow through the events, because we network, we grow, we build businesses, we support one another, we put money in each other's pockets by buying from each other and growing from there, and building and buying properties and stuff. That's how we do that within Alluvione as adults. But for the kids, it's about the AGB program and being able to give through there.
I love that, man. Levi, you dropped so many gems. I'll make sure that this will be posted on YouTube sometime next week. Thank you so much for your time, and keep doing what you're doing, man, for real.
Oh, man, look, I appreciate you for having me.
Anytime, bro. Hey, you be safe.
You too, man.
Thank you.
All right, now.
Y'all, make sure to support Levi tonight, man. He's an awesome dude, man. We love y'all. Once again, my name is Caleb Smith, host of the 3 Milli podcast. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. You can stay up to date with all of our latest content. We love you all so much. Stay blessed. Peace.